Hi Cardinals, Miss Cicchini here with your math lesson for the day. So your math activity is called Alphabet Code, and it can be found on your Google Slides or in the Remote Learning printed pack. If you're doing it on the Google Slide, you're going to want to get a piece of paper and a pencil or a whiteboard and a marker to use for this activity. And if you're on the slides, you can follow along, or if you have the packet out, you can open it up too and work on it as we go. So if you see the chart right here, and above it tells you the directions. It says look at the alphabet code above. It should say below there. So here's the alphabet code, and it says it shows the number of points for each letter you use to make a word. So your activity today is going to be making words and seeing how many points they are based on the numbers that are underneath the letter. But there are some rules that they give you. So for number 1, it says it has to be a 3-letter word worth at least 32 points, meaning it has to either be 32 points or it has to be more than 32 points. So I'm going to try the word hat. Okay, I just made it up. It's a 3-letter word, so I'm just picking a 3-letter word that I know to see how much it's worth. So I wrote my word hat on the board, and I have to see how much it's worth. So my H, I look on the chart, and H is worth 8 points. A is worth 1 point, and T is worth 20. So then I would take these numbers and add them together to get my total. So 20 plus 8 plus 1. I would add my ones first. 8 plus 1 is 9. 2 plus 0 is 2. So I have 29 here. But I remember my rule said at least 32 points. And 29 is below 32. It's smaller than 32. So this 3-letter word would not work. So I'm not going to write that as my answer because I need 32 or more points. So now I'm going to try sat. It rhymes with hat, that's why I thought about it. And I notice my letters are different. Like my beginning letter is bigger, is an S, and I know that was worth more points than my H, which was only worth 8. So let's see if this one will work, if it'll be more than 32 points. Fingers crossed. All right, so S was 19 points, plus A, which was 1 point, plus my T, so I look at my chart again, and that was worth 20. And I'm going to write my equation vertically again, so I can add it. You might be able to solve it in your head. That's fine too. All right, and now I'm going to add 0 plus 9 plus 1 equals 10. Make a new 10. 1 plus 2 plus 1 is 4. So my word sat is worth 40 points, and 40 is more than 32. So I'm going to type my word sat, and it says write my equation. So I'm going to type my equation. 20 plus 19 plus 1 equals 40. So there's my equation. And it's a 3-letter word, S-A-T, so I got that part, and it's worth at least 32 points. So it can be 32 points or more. So now you're going to try and find a 3-letter word that cannot be sat, because that's what I did. Try to think of your own 3-letter word, and see if you can get it to equal 32 or more points. Remember, if it doesn't, like when I did hat, just erase and try another word. Okay, so you want to have 3 letters in your word, and when you add it up, it has to be 32 or more points. So if you want to do that now, then pause the video and work on it. So I'm going to go on to the next one. And when you're done, you can press play, and I will be there to help you with number 2. All right, number 2 says to write a 4-letter word worth at least 40 points. So now it has to have 4 letters in it, and it has to be 40 or more points. So let's see, what's a 4-letter word? I'm going to do June, because that is the next month we're going to be in, and it's 4 letters. And now I'm going to write how much each of these letters are worth. So J, I look at my chart, it's worth 10, plus U is worth 21, plus N is worth 14, and E is worth 5. So I'm going to write this vertically to help me solve it. Sometimes it's a little hard for me to add a lot of numbers horizontally. So I'm going to go with my biggest number first. 21, 14, 10, 5. All right, so 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 5 more is 10. I make a new group. I have 1, plus 2 is 3, plus 4, plus 1, 5. So my answer is 50, which is more than 40. So June would work here. So I'm going to type my word. Make sure you tell us the word that you're doing, and then tell your equation so the teachers can check your work. 14 plus 10 plus 5, and write your answer, equals 50. So that works for number 2. So again, you can pause the video and try to do number 2, but don't use the word June since that's the word that I chose. Try to come up with your own 4-letter word. Could be a name, like this is the name of a month. That's also the name of a person too. So you could pick a name, but it can only be 4 letters. All right, and for number 3, it's a 5-letter word. So think of a 5-letter word and try to get it to be over 65 points. If you see down here in this red circle, there's examples for you, but I try not to use those words since they showed it for you. They gave you an example for number 1. They spelled the word 1, O-N-E, and added it up. And then they gave an example for number 3. They spelled the word minus, M-I-N-U-S, and added that up. So try number 3 by making a 5-letter word. Okay, could be like cook, our school name, C-O-O-K-E, and see if it's worth 65 points. Or think of your own word. And then number 4, you have to write a whole sentence and see how much it's worth. So the longer your sentence, the more numbers you're going to add. So you might want to keep your sentence short, like, I like to run, and then add all of that up. So if I did that short sentence, let me write it. I like to run. So I wrote my sentence, and now I'm going to figure out how much it's worth. So under those letters, I'm going to write the numbers. So the I is worth 9 points. L is worth 12. Another I. K is worth 11. And E is worth 5. And then I have my word to, T-O, so 20 plus 15. Whoa, that's going to be a big number. Then run, R is worth 18, U is worth 21, and N is worth 14. So here's my sentence, and that's a lot of numbers. So how I'm going to do it is I'm going to break it up by word. So I'm just going to add these together and then add it all up. So I have 9 plus 1 equals 10, plus 5 more is 15, 16, 17. Make a new one. 1, 2, 3. Then over here I have 20 plus 15, which is 35. Over here I have 21, 18, and 14. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 2, 3, 4, 5 equals 53. And I have my 9 still. And then I have to add up all of those numbers at the bottom to figure out how much my sentence is worth. So I have 53, 37, 35, and 9. And I'm going to add that all up. So let's see. 3 plus 7 is 10, plus 9 more is 19, plus 5 more, so 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Make a new group. Now I add my tens. 5 plus 2 is 7, plus 3 is 10, plus 10 more is 13. So my sentence of I like to run is worth 134 points. So I would type my sentence and how much it's worth. So I like to run, and then I would do my equation. Actually, it doesn't say you have to write an equation, so you can just write your total amount of points. I'm going to write 134 points. So have fun with this activity. You can come up with your own words. You should not use sat and June or 1 and minus. And see how much they're worth. All right, have a great day, guys. Bye.